If you ship hazardous materials, one of the first questions you need to ask yourself is who on our staff needs hazmat training? The U.S. Department of Transportation requires training for all employees who prepare or offer hazmat for transportation and lay out specific elements that training must cover. This video will help you determine who needs hazmat training, what that training should cover, and when and how often to train employees to comply with USDOT's Hazardous Materials Regulations. First off, anyone who can directly affect the safety of a hazardous material in transportation, either by making a decision or performing a specific job, is a hazmat employee and must be trained. That includes full-time, part-time, or temporary employees who pack shipments, affix required marks and labels, handle packages, load or unload vehicles, prepare or sign hazmat shipping papers, or perform other regulated jobs. For new employees, hazmat training must be completed within 90 days of starting work or taking on a hazmat job role. Employees must work under supervision until they are trained. Now, let's take a look at what that training should cover. There are three key elements to USDOT's hazmat training standard. The first is general awareness training. Hazmat general awareness training covers the big picture of the shipping process and gives employees perspective on how their actions impact transportation safety and hazardous materials compliance. Second, USDOT requires function-specific training. In other words, employees must be trained to safely perform their specific hazmat jobs and maintain compliance with the applicable regulations. Third, all hazmat employees must have security awareness training. This prepares personnel to identify and respond to suspicious activity or security threats. Now, there are two other elements of DOT's training standard that are required for some hazmat employees. Safety training is required for employees who handle or may be exposed to hazardous materials in the workplace. This requirement may be covered by your site's OSHA training program. In-depth security training is required for certain personnel at facilities that deal with high-consequence hazmat shipments. So what about retraining? USDOT requires recurrent or refresher training for hazmat employees once every 3 years. Recurrent hazmat training must cover all the required elements that we just talked about. Lastly, DOT hazmat regulations can and do change over time. When the rules change, each hazmat employee must receive update training if those new rules affect the way he or she performs a hazmat job. To help your organization meet USDOT's hazmat training standard, Lion Technology presents effective, up-to-date hazmat training through nationwide workshops, easy-to-use online courses, and live instructor-led webinars. At lion.com/hazmat, find training for employees at any experience level that cover the latest USDOT, IATA DGR, and IMDG code regulations that shippers must know to offer hazmat by ground, air, or vessel. Thank you for checking out this video. If you have any questions about training your hazmat employees, contact us today at lion.com.